Hi, I'm Ursula Hood, the executive producer of this year's first edition of Bracketology, where we dive into March Madness and much more. Sophie, take us away.
Spin it, fade.
Hello, and welcome to Bracketology. I'm Carter Culver.
And I'm Ariel Claiborne. Here at GUTV, our Bracketology series is a tradition in which we unpack all things NCAA and feature some current and future Zags in our Alumni and Senior of the Week segments.
I gotta say, Ariel, I am beyond excited to dive into all that we're gonna be talking about throughout the show.
I think we have some really good packages in there and some really good stories, and I'm excited to go through them all.
Most definitely, should be a lot of fun. For those of you that haven't participated before, the NCAA tournament is starting soon, and it's nearly time to create your March Madness brackets. With more on the bracket competition, here's Alex Russell.
Thanks, Ariel. Thanks, Carter. Bracketology is a fun and interactive way for GU students and faculty alike to compete head-to-head March Madness style. There are two easy ways that you can join this year's Bracketology competition. First, simply use the QR code listed below to access the GUTV Bracketology page and sign up. The other option is to use the link below, tinyurl.com/GUTV22. Both options will take you to the sign up page to be a part of all things college basketball and GUTV this season. You will be asked to log into your CBS Sports account, and if you don't have one, don't worry. It's free to sign up. Just fill out some simple information, confirm it, and you're in. Now, the brackets are not live as of now, but they will be after Selection Sunday on March 13th. Create your winning bracket before the morning of March 17th, the official start of the first round of the tournament. We have 3 divisions to play in this year: students, alumni, and family and friends. If you are a faculty member here at Gonzaga, you will be entered into the family and friends category. We will be providing updates all throughout the March Madness season on our social media pages. You can find us on Facebook at GUTV, Gonzaga Television official page, and on Instagram at GUTV Zags. And don't forget to tune into our future Bracketology shows, where we will keep you up to date on official standings, tournament progress, and the madness that is college basketball. We wish you all the best of luck this season, and as always, Sko Zags. Now let's send it back to Ariel and Carter at the desk.
I gotta say, Ariel, I am even more excited now to create my bracket, and last year might not have been my best season, but definitely more optimistic going into this one.
Personally, I've never made a bracket, so I'm excited to actually do one this year and see how far I can go. I might need a little bit of your help, though.
I'm sure you'll kill it.
A new app has stormed through Gonzaga's campus and caught the attention of several students and faculty. Despite the excitement Yik Yak has brought, it has also been accompanied by controversy.
Our very own GUTV reporter, Lucas Miranda, takes a deep dive into the app that has quickly turned heads and created tension at Gonzaga. So, Lucas, what exactly is Yik Yak?
Well, if you haven't heard of Yik Yak, it's a social media app that lets users anonymously connect with others within a 5-mile radius. During its initial explosion of popularity on college campuses in 2014 through 2016, the app became a channel for widespread cyberbullying and harassment. Now that it's back, we took a deeper dive to see how students feel about it 8 years later.
Yik Yak was resurrected from the dead in summer of 2021 after a hiatus and purchase from Square, following the company's decision to close their service in 2017. With updated community guidelines and better filters to weed out hateful content, a new era of college students is using Yik Yak, some for the very first time.
I like that there's a strange sense of community that can be kind of niche for especially, I'd say, like the college campus side of things. Or, you know, just like things that somebody who wasn't a Gonzaga student within the 5-mile radius would understand necessarily.
I mean, Yik Yak can be entertaining to see at times, but it's kind of obvious that there are people who just get on the app to slander something that they don't really like. I think the fact that it's anonymous leads to people really using it for the wrong reasons.
As any frequent user could tell you, social media always has negatives and positives. What separates Yik Yak from the rest of the herd is the local anonymity that essentially puts everyone in one area on an even playing field. In a world with no power hierarchy, could Yik Yak be a place for new ideas to roam free?
I don't quite remember if it died out or it was sort of shut out, because I know there was a lot of concerns over that anonymity aspect of it. Because I think the important point here is that media is a tool. So the question is, will it effectively divest from that and be a positive tool that we can use to make some social change towards a more equitable society?
While student opinion might still be divided, only time will tell what the return of Yik Yak means for the Gonzaga community.
Our deep dive doesn't stop there. GUTV has surveyed 72 students who've used the app. Of them, 43 people said they've had a positive or mostly positive experience, 19 staying neutral, and 10 saying negative or mostly negative. When asked if Yik Yak is a positive or negative influence on GU's campus, most said neutral, while 17 each fell into the positive and negative sides. Lastly, 31 students who used the app today say that they've seen the app used for hate speech, 10 more than that saying that they haven't. The jury may still be out for how students feel about Yik Yak, but it can't be denied that an open space for conversation might be something that students need more than they realize. Back to you at the desk.
Well, Lucas, will you be using Yik Yak from here on out?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as long as you don't take it too seriously, it can be a lot of fun.
Well, coming up after this break, we'll highlight this past weekend's senior night basketball game,
as well as a Gonzaga alum who's made his mark at the Spokane-based production company, Little Fish Productions. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Bracketology. I'm Ariel Claiborne.
And I'm Carter Culver.
Now, the kennel's always an electrifying atmosphere, but something about senior night seems to be undefeated.
I couldn't agree more. It definitely separates itself from the rest of the games we go throughout the year. For a little background, on Saturday, February 19th, it spelled the end of an incredible tenure for 4 players on the Gonzaga men's basketball team as they celebrated their senior night with the last home game of the season. Gonzaga honored seniors Andrew Nemhard, Razier Bolton, Matthew Lang, and Will Graves, with all 4 on the floor to start. Gonzaga closed out their home schedule with an 81-69 win over Santa Clara. Those 4 senior players were not the only ones bidding their final farewell. They were joined by the hundreds of emotional seniors soaking up their last time as a student in the kennel.
It was just an amazing feeling, everyone coming together, and the kennel is just crazy. Like, everyone supports each other, and it's honestly a vibe. You know, we have our dances, our cheers, and everyone does it. It doesn't matter like who you are, and so everyone just comes together and supports, and it's honestly an amazing feeling that I can't explain. I'm definitely gonna miss the kennel, but yeah, senior night was amazing.
I think Alex summed that up perfectly. It really goes to showcase the incredible community that we have here at Gonzaga.
I completely agree, and as sad as it is to see our seniors go, I wish them the best of luck.
Definitely a bittersweet moment.
And now time for our next story. In each episode of Bracketology, we like to highlight one of the prestigious GU broadcasting alumni. Ben Schilling is here with more on our first alumni feature of Bracketology.
Thanks, Ariel. As students are finishing up their time at GUTV, we always remind them of the proud tradition of staying connected. No one embodies that better than our Alumni of the Week, Scott Weller. Creative Director at Little Fish Productions and GUTV alum, Scott Weller, is more than just your average Gonzaga grad.
On any given week, I have a handful of shoots that I'm going on, and I'm one of our DPs, so I'm not just operating the camera, I'm also the one making some of those decisions on how we want to shoot something, how we're approaching something creatively from a visual perspective, and really making sure that from start to finish, videos are coming out the way that we want them to, the way our clients want them to, and that our product has a really high quality and standard.
Through connections at GUTV, Scott joined Little Fish Productions, where he has worked and climbed the ranks ever since graduating.
Little Fish started pretty small. When I was in school, I was fortunate enough to get an internship at Little Fish, and it was just the owner, it was just Rob, who is also a GUTV alum. So we had that connection. I mean, GUTV was instrumental in me getting my foot in the door in a new budding business.
To this day, Scott takes with him skills and lessons he was provided at GUTV.
I think GUTV prepares you for how to work in a professional environment, how to have a relationship with people, how to mess up and how to respond to that, how to be in a situation where, we're going live in 3 seconds and I've got to be ready, and you're put in all these situations that you're going to be in constantly in the professional world, and it gives you the opportunity to put that camera in your hands and to make a mistake and learn from it.
While Scott's role at Little Fish Productions keeps him plenty busy, he still finds time to give back to GUTV by leading lighting and camera workshops for students.
Being able to come back and pour into students in that way and just share some knowledge that I've gained, stuff that I remember learning at GUTV, and kind of making sure that that kind of stuff gets carried on in future classes.
The reach of GUTV is much more than the audience watching live on show days. It's most apparent in the impact past works and alumni make on current students. Through the relationship and involvement of alumni, GUTV continues to grow and develop a creative and opportunity-filled environment. Thanks to Scott Weller and all our GUTV alums for their continued support. Now, let's send it back over to Ariel and Carter. Guys.
Thanks so much, Ben. It was great to get that insight from Scott. Ariel, I just gotta say, it never ceases to amaze me all the incredible work that Gonzaga students go to do in the community once they've graduated.
Not to mention all the things they do to return the favor to future GUTV students. Zags always help Zags.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Zags help Zags.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we have a special inside look on how Zags get ready for the kennel.
We'll also reveal who the Senior of the Week is and take some time to get to know her better. Stay tuned.
Litter Captain, the world needs you. You know what to do.
I'm on it. You there!
Not the litter, Captain!
Don't litter, or I'll be bitter.
Welcome back to GUTV. This is Bracketology. Getting ready for the Gonzaga basketball games is no simple task. It requires thoroughly detailed planning, out-of-the-box thinking, and a little bit of the old razzle-dazzle.
Our incredible executive producer, Ursula Hood, got the inside scoop on how one student prepares for craziness in the kennel.
Oh my god, yes, I love going to Zags games. It's one of my favorite things to do.
You know, we kind of like to get dressed up a little bit, but nothing too crazy, just kind of some fun like school colors every once in a while to show school spirit. I mean, I guess we do makeup sometimes, but it's usually pretty like every day, like, you know, just like kind of like cute going to class or like a toned down kind of Friday look, nothing too crazy at all. After outfit and makeup, like we don't really do that much. We don't want to like use up all our energy before the game, so we don't really do that much to get hype. We love our Zags. Go Zags! Woo!
I gotta say, Ariel, I think that perfectly sums up all that goes into getting ready for some craziness in the kennel.
Yeah, it's nothing too crazy, nothing too serious. I mean, she did it perfectly.
Definitely.
Next up, Cameron Ehrlich highlights our first senior of the week. Cameron, tell us more.
Thanks, Ariel and Carter. Bracketology number 1, Senior of the Week, is GUTV's very own Isabella Harris Hamlin. From freshman year to now nearing graduation, there's no doubt that Isabella has made a tremendous impact on her peers, as well as the broadcasting program as a whole.
Isabella Harris Hamlin began her college experience as a computer science major, but soon found out that creative video making was her calling.
I've always been a super creative person. I love making art and making music, and I had dabbled a little bit in filmmaking, and so I heard that broadcasting was one of the majors here, and I immediately switched over, and I have not looked back since.
Since being a broadcasting major, Isabella has created many works that have become bigger than just Gonzaga's community.
Last year, I worked with a few fellow student filmmakers on a documentary that documented people experiencing homelessness in Spokane. And that was a huge thing for me. It was a massive undertaking from all of us, and it required a ton of work, but the payoff was amazing. We were able to screen it at a few different universities and in some classrooms, and it inspired a march through downtown Spokane for housing rights. And then this past year, I co-directed a mini documentary about the Gent Art Museum on Gonzaga's campus with a fellow student filmmaker, and that was accepted to the Spokane International Film Festival. Just a few weeks ago, it was screened there, and that was awesome.
Ethan McReynolds, a fellow GUTV student, has been attending classes with Isabella since freshman year.
She just has such an eye with the camera. It's really crazy, and she's always been like a resource to help out whenever I need. Like I know that I can ask her any question whatsoever, camera, you know, editing, whatever it may be. I mean, this year alone, I think it's every other week I've learned something new in Premiere from Isabella, just like literally like just editing next to her, and we're like, what the heck is that? And then she'll just like teach me like something new. It's like pretty crazy.
Though Isabella has not yet earned her degree, she has already made steps in her career.
I've been working part-time for a video marketing agency in town called Colormatics, and it's been awesome. They've given me amazing opportunities and really opened my eyes to the world of production. So that's been amazing, and it's really inspired me to continue within this industry.
Whatever may be next for Isabella after GUTV, you can bet 2 things will remain a constant: making a positive impact on her peers and telling meaningful stories in her community.
Isabella really can do it all. In fact, she's running teleprompter for me right now. Nice work, by the way. Reporting for GUTV, I'm Cameron Ehrlich. Now back to you, Ariel and Carter.
Thanks, Cameron. I gotta say, as high as that praise was, I think it really only scratches the surface on all that Isabella has done, not only for GUTV, but the broadcasting program here as a whole.
She is one of the most amazing and inspiring people you will ever meet, and I'm really fortunate to say that we got to work with her.
As am I. After the break, we're talking all things Gonzaga basketball.
The West Coast Conference Tournament is right around the corner for the men's and women's teams. We'll break down the key matchups after this quick timeout.
I'm fine. You know, this year's going a lot better. I'm making friends. I'm not as homesick. I've started talking about it. I don't take those meds anymore. And those thoughts, they don't scare me as much. But am I okay? I mean, I think I'm okay. I don't really know what to tell people. No one's really asked me that in a while.
Go Zags! Go Zags! Go Zags!
Go Zags!
Go Zags!
Go Zags!
Go Zags!
Until next time, I'm Greg Talbot. Go Zags!
Go Zags!
Go Zags!
Welcome back to Bracketology. Ending our show today, we have an in-depth discussion of everything you need to know about the upcoming NCAA tournament, led by Ethan McReynolds with 2 special guests. Take it away, Ethan.
Thanks, Ariel. Welcome into Bracket Breakdown, the segment where our experts break down the bracket so that you don't have to. We have a lot of exciting Zags basketball to discuss, and joining me to do so is Gonzaga senior and our dedicated GUTV analyst, Nate Gustafson, as well as former host of the Locked On Zags podcast and current video, broadcast, and production coordinator for Gonzaga University, Stephen Karr. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today to talk some Zags. I do want to start with the women's team. They finished out the regular season at 24-6, an impressive record, 15-2 in conference, only losing those 2 games to a top 20 side in BYU. Stephen, what's impressed you the most this season from the women?
They really pride themselves on 2 things. One is defense, top 25 in the country in defensive scoring. And then rebounding. They're top 10 in the country in rebounding margin. I think they're 7th in the country. They really get after you. They're physical. And in the tournament, I mean, those 2 things will travel anywhere and against anybody they play, defense and rebounding. Offensively, they've been kind of inconsistent all season long. But if they can get hot, their defense is going to keep them in games. Their rebounding is going to keep them in games. And they've got a shot to win a couple games in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and Nate, speaking of the NCAA tournament, what is the Zags tournament status right now?
Yeah, right now it's looking pretty good. They seem to be slated in as like a Final Four in. And so long as they're able to win that initial semifinal game to reach the WCC championship in Vegas, it looks like they will be a go and will be representing in the tournament in March.
And definitely tune into that WCC semifinal. Likely will be against the University of San Francisco, a team they had trouble with in the regular season. Stephen, is this a women's Zags basketball team that has the potential for a Cinderella run in the NCAA tournament?
I mean, it's very possible, especially, I mean, if what the bracketology is saying is correct and they get in as like a last 4 in or like a 10 seed, 11 seed, like they are going to face either a 6 or a 7 in the first round, and that's a really, really beatable team. And we've seen in the past Gonzaga teams beat and upset 2 seeds and 3 seeds before. So yeah, it's very possible. And they haven't been to the Sweet 16 since 2015, so getting there would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and let's move on. Let's pivot really quick to the men's team. They finished out their regular season an impressive 24-3, number 1 in the AP poll, currently only losing the 1 conference game. Nate, what's impressed you the most about this men's team? I mean, specifically after championship run from a year ago today, and losing Corey Kispert, Jalen Suggs, among other NBA talent.
Yeah, obviously losing players of that caliber is going to be tough to recover from. I think we kind of knew what we were going to get with Timmy going into this year. He's still been one of the most dominant post players in the entire country. But I do think the X factor and the reason that we've gone as far as we have has been freshman Chet Holmgren, coming out and being arguably the best interior defender in the entire country as an 18-year-old, and the ways that opens up opportunities for the rest of the defense. They're able to be more aggressive. That's part of why we get so many transition opportunities. And then on the offensive end of the floor, I think that Chet has really fit seamlessly into Mark Few's system. He's bought in to a team mentality. He might only be averaging 14 points a game, but it's very efficient. He's one of the best shooters in the country, plays phenomenally off the basketball, and I think that Chet has just been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, as an 18-year-old freshman coming in averaging 14.5 points, over 3.5 blocks, shooting 44% from 3, you do not see that every day and probably won't anytime soon. Stephen, obviously Gonzaga ended their regular season on a sour note, which was a pretty perfect conference slate up until this point. What went wrong in Moraga against a pretty good St. Mary's team?
What didn't go wrong, really? No, I mean, St. Mary's, Randy Bennett seems to do this, I don't know, once every other year to Gonzaga. I mean, he knows them better than any other coach in the country, maybe outside of Tommy Lloyd. So, like, he comes up with game plans that, you know, sometimes stifles Gonzaga's offense, and St. Mary's is able to control pace enough where they're able to steal a game. But, like, the recipe for them winning took them basically clogging the paint, a very generous whistle where they don't call a whole lot of contact inside, and then Gonzaga getting the worst games of the year from Chet Holmgren and Drew Timme combined. Like, that's so much stuff that has to happen for St. Mary's to win. I mean, it was a 2-possession game with 2 minutes to go. So a lot of people are like, hey, this is the blueprint to beat Gonzaga. It's like 15 different things all have to go right all at the same time for them to actually pull off that kind of upset.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this segment. Steven, Nate, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. The men's and women's team have both clinched automatic buys into the semifinal of the WCC tournament. Both teams will be playing on Monday, March 7th, with the hopes of competing in the championship game on Tuesday, March 8th. Be sure to tune in to see both teams as they look to bring some hardware back to Spokane. Let's send it back to avid Zag fans Ariel, Carter, and Alex at the desk.
Thanks, Ethan. We really appreciate that insight from some true professionals.
And I think we have one quick little reminder from our friend Alex.
Yes, thanks, Ariel. Hey, Zags, quick reminder on how you can join Bracketology this year. Simply use the QR code listed below to access the GUTV Bracketology page and sign up. Or go to the link at tinyurl.com/GUTV22. Soon you'll be able to create your winning bracket and compete head-to-head with your fellow Zags, faculty, friends, and family. Let's go, Zags.
Thank you all so much for joining us on this year's first episode of Bracketology. We look forward to seeing you on the next show, March 24th. And don't forget to sign up for those brackets for your chance at fame and glory. For GUTV, I'm Carter Culver.
And I'm Ariel Claiborne. Wishing good luck to both our women's and men's teams. Stay classy, Gonzaga. And remember,
Zags got dudes.